Questions of voter fraud in one town has some now calling for a criminal investigation, and this comes after the I-Team started asking some questions about some town workers in North Bergen and why they're voting in town when they have addresses listed in other towns and counties. Our chief investigative reporter Jonathan Dienst has an update.
After our reporting on questions of voter fraud in North Bergen, we followed up with New Jersey's U.S. Attorney. We asked if his office is investigating the allegations, as well as past questions of corruption at North Bergen City Hall, Housing Authority, and Board of Education.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about the North Bergen matters. We've obviously are aware of the news articles that have been written, but we don't comment on whether or not we have any open investigations or what the progress of those investigations are.
A spokesman for New Jersey's Attorney General also had no comment. But the former head of the New Jersey FBI office says the possible voter fraud problems we found are serious.
Their job is to educate our students and to protect our streets, and they're being used to wield power and to sway elections, and that's just wrong.
We obtained a list of Board of Education workers. At least 649 of them were registered voters. We could not check all of them, but we did look into 61 who listed an out-of-town address, with nearly a dozen of them apparently voting in town. This education worker told us the problem's well known and due to pressure from the town's Democratic machine.
Everyone kind of gets intimidated to play the political game.
One case, records show this Board of Ed employee, George Haviland, voted in North Bergen, which is in Hudson County. But we found Haviland living at this home in Bergen County, where his son even posted on social media having gone to school there. We also checked other town employees like Detective Mark Franson, seen here working security for Mayor Nicholas Sacco. Records show that officer voted using a past family address in North Bergen, even though we found him living in Bergen County in the town of Saddlebrook. And this Housing Authority worker, Drew McCucci, listed this building's North Bergen address in Hudson County on his voter registration. But multiple sources and one relative told us the worker actually lived here, 18 miles away, in the Bergen County township of Washington. A spokesman for the mayor and the town workers says that in each case, there was no wrongdoing, that either the individual was living part-time at a relative's home in North Bergen or had actually lived full-time in North Bergen, saying their actions were appropriate. The former FBI chief says if anyone used an address and voted improperly in North Bergen, they could also be opening themselves up to other potential charges, like tax or insurance fraud.
When you write down that your primary residence is X and you don't live there, that could be potential bank fraud.
Considering the limited records we were able to check, we did find nearly 24 questionable examples of possible voter fraud. The former FBI head says law enforcement officials with subpoena power could find even greater numbers.
The numbers that you came up with in your reporting are significant, and to utilize law enforcement tools to further develop those numbers, it could lead to a greater problem.
Jonathan Dienst, News 4 New York.